Hi, my name is Bell Leong Hong. My Chinese name is Mei Kei. I am the chair of the DNC Asian American and Pacific Islander Caucus. Means is that I am responsible for making sure that all of the Asian American across the entire United States are involved politically. Part of my job is to galvanize our political power and to make sure that our voices are heard. So this week we just concluded the very successful, very exciting, very exhilarating convention that happens once every 4 years. And this is the convention where we gather to elect or to nominate the Democratic candidate for presidency of the United States. What is so important about this is the first time that we have an Asian American and Black American woman candidate for president of the United States. So that gives us a lot of reason for us to go out and try to make sure that all of our Asian Americans go out and vote. It is very important that we participate in all aspects of this political process. What that means is that, one, we have to make sure that when people ask to donate. The second part is that we need to make sure that we get out the vote. That means that we need to go and talk to our friends, our family, our neighbors, our acquaintances to vote for Kamala Harris. Thirdly, we need to make sure that messages like this goes out to the entire community across the nation and to every part of our community. So what I mean by that is very often when we listen to the TV, listen to radio, or read the newspapers, what we do is that we think about it only in very general terms. Sometimes the messaging is not specific to our community, but be assured this campaign very much thinks about us because we have proof of that, right? Vice President Harris, she and President Biden have already put in place a lot of programs that affect us. This will be extremely important for our community to understand what this administration has done and what she will continue to do when she gets elected as President of the United States. I want to introduce you to my dear friend Roger Lau. So Roger Lau is the second highest person, actually right now going to be the highest ranking in the DNC. He is taking over for the rest of this election as the executive director of the DNC. What that means is that our voices are going to be heard even more. Roger knows us, Roger understands us, and Roger makes sure that all of our needs and interests are met politically and programmatically. So, Roger, would you like to say a few words for them?
Oh, I'm so excited to continue to work with Bell in this position. As Bell says, our community is incredibly strong and critical to this Democratic Party coalition. But really, we stand on Bell's shoulders, right? Bell allows us to do all the things we do. She paved the way for us, and we're excited for the next 74 days.
Thank you so very much. Now, what you just heard is the highest ranking person in the DNC. Let me tell you why this is so important and why all of your involvement is important. It is because of your involvement in people like Roger that here at the DNC, he's made a difference this cycle, very much so for all of our AAPI interests. He's Chinese American, so am I, and the two of us, when we talk, he understands our needs a lot more. So why does it matter for us to vote for Kamala Harris this time? The reason is that Kamala Harris is one of us, and the democratic values much more closely aligns with our Asian American, our Chinese American values. She is an Asian American, so she understands Asian culture, and she respects and understands all of the things that are important to us as well. The alternative is not an option, and let me explain why. The other side which is the former president of Donald Trump. And that's going to have a very horrible effect on us. Remember in 2020 when pandemic hit. What Donald Trump did was he started calling it the Wuhan virus, the China virus, which started a lot of anti-Asian hate. And that then translated into attacks on our elderly. Many of you saw how our elderly Chinese ladies were shoved to the street, and they were, in some cases, were beaten up. If he were to be elected, this will happen again. Not only that, he's already saying that. He's already saying also that immigrants has poisoned the American blood. So what that means is that he doesn't like any of us, anybody that is not a white American. The other thing that is also very important for you all to look and understand is that there is one section in his Project 2025 that should make us all very scared. It talks about denial of or removal of citizenship for the birthright citizenship. What that means, for example, is that if your child is born of immigrant parents that they have not been born here for generations, that they may actually be stripped away their citizenship. It's the removal of a birthright citizenship. That is very scary for all of us. A lot of other provisions that are very detrimental for our community. And that could happen to all of us that are not white American citizens. And I emphasize white, because that is what he is. That is who he's fighting for, not for any of us. Okay, thank you. For all the good reasons and all the good values that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz represents and the Democratic Party ticket brings to bear, I want to encourage you to vote. And I also want you to vote to make sure that the former president doesn't get elected again, because it could become a very traumatic time for all of us. So please go out and vote. Please go out and get your family, your friend, yourself, and all of your acquaintances and anybody that you know in your network to please go out and vote. This is an election that is not only critical, it's actually existential. If the other side gets to be elected, our way of life, our properties, our values, everything that is dear to us will be gone. Okay.